So MegaSpore, of course, is the probiotic component. The whole crux behind it is about modulating the dysbiosis, right? So you've got all of these dysfunctional microbes that may be overgrown in your gut, or the absence. And when I say absence, I don't mean that they're not there. I mean that they're not functioning well. The absence of beneficial bacteria and their byproducts that you need as well. So the simplest way to think about that is just think short chain fatty acids, for example, right? So butyrate, propionate, and acetate. We know those are so important for overall health, not only gut health, but immune health, metabolic health, brain health. Virtually everything requires these short chain fatty acids. And a lot of the keystone or highly beneficial microbes produce high levels of short chain fatty acids. So if you're just looking at that alone, everybody in watching this, or everybody around, has short chain fatty acid producing bacteria in their gut. The problem is, if their numbers are too low, they can't produce adequate amounts, and they're competing with non-short chain fatty acid producing microbes, right? So that modulation, that bringing back of balance, increasing the beneficial bacteria, bringing down the dysfunctional bacteria, that is a root driver of how MegaSpore works to modulate your health. Right now, what Bridget was saying actually earlier is quite relevant, because she says she takes a MegaPre often more frequently than she takes MegaSpore. And that actually makes sense, because think about if you've gone through 3, 4, 5 months or more of modulating the microbiome using spores, right? So the spores are going in, they're correcting the imbalances, you're bringing back up the beneficial bacteria, you're bringing down the dysfunctional bacteria, you're creating more diversity, you're creating more stability. That results in more resilience, and more stable functionality in your microbiome. That becomes a little bit harder to break with lifestyle choices, right? And that's the whole goal. We want to become resilient. We want to have some room to slack off a little bit. We want to be able to live without being so focused on trying to be healthy all the time. And so the spores afford you that by creating this new dynamic, balanced microbiome, which means that if you forget your MegaSpore, you choose not to take it for a week or two, you're probably okay once you get to that maintenance point, right? So that's a key component of MegaSpores, rebalancing that microbiome. And then as a result of that rebalancing, the other things that happen is that your lining of your gut seals up. We've been able to show that in clinical trials. And then because your lining seals up, then your immune function, starting in the gut, which then translates everywhere else in the body, that also improves quite significantly. You bring about proper balance between the regulatory parts of the immune system and then the overactive parts of the immune system, right? So you bring about better balance in all of those aspects. So that is foundational. No matter what condition you're dealing with, dysbiosis and that imbalance of microbes is a part of it. So it's always good to start with MegaSpore, right? In your journey of health, you start with that. Now you go 3, 4 months, you may be able to start to slack off. We've had patients that have been on MegaSpore since the first bottles we produced back in 2013. We still have those people on the product, but they take it intermittently, right? They'll take it, week on, week off. They'll take it every other day. They might take it 3 times a week. Whatever ends up working for your system, whatever stresses you put in your system. Someone like me, I take it every day because I'm flying all the time. I'm traveling different time zones, eating out, most of the time. So my body goes through more stress than a lot of, people who don't do those things. And so I take it every day. And for me, that becomes important, right? But that gives you an understanding of where MegaSpore fits into all of this.